Well, hello and welcome to the CEV Champions League. Evenings don't come much bigger than this one. Halkbank ANKARA have arrived in Poland where they need a 3-0 or a 3-1 to send us to a golden set, where the home team, JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel, only need to win this evening to guarantee their place in the CEV Champions League final. Louis Let with you here for all the coverage this evening. I can't wait, and I hope that wherever you're watching from, you can't wait either.
First of all, we are happy to be here in Poland one more time. We have played against this team also 4 years ago, 9 years ago, semi-final of Champions League. So I know this gym very well. My players know this gym very well. So we come here for the victory. We are in good shape. My players, they made a really great job until now in Turkish Championship, in Champions League. Our group was one of the strongest group in Champions League, and we made great job. So then we played with Lube Civitanova, which is one of the most important team also in Europe. And so we deserve to be here, and now we want to deserve to be in the final. For this, we are here to, first of all, to win the game, then to have chance to play golden sets.
All aspects are important for this match, no? Mental aspect and technical too. Of course, technical. We need play good, no? When we need to see ourselves, our service, our reception, our side out. I think is the most important for this match.
Jastrzębski Wegiel wygrał z Halkbankiem 3-1 w setach do 25, do 23, 25-16 i do 22. Obowiązuje oczywiście, przypominam, zasada złotego seta, czyli w przypadku wygrania tureckiej drużyny 3-0, 3-1 będziemy grali decydujący set, ale ponownie, tak jak było w ćwierćfinale, liczymy na to, że nie będzie takiej potrzeby. Mam nadzieję, że dzisiaj cała publiczność w Jastrzębiu odleci. Mam nadzieję, że klub kibica wam w tym pomoże, bo dziś przed nami wielkie, historyczne wydarzenie i mamy nadzieję historyczny wynik naszego klubu i historyczny wynik jastrzębskiego sportu przed nami. Przypominamy, że drugi mecz półfinałowy Zaksa będzie wyskoczyć na wyjście z warunki, jak pierwszy meczu będzie wyjechał górą mistrzowie Polski i triumfatorzy dwóch ostatnich edycji Ligi Mistrzów. Jak będziemy wyróżnieni przy problemach włoskiej drużyny w ostatnich dniach, przekonamy się jutro o tej samej porze, bo także o 20:30 początek tego spotkania. Krótko przypomnijmy, jak obie drużyny prezentują w Lidze Mistrzów w tym sezonie. Jastrzębski Wegiel na razie nie pokonany, grali w druga, 6 wygranych spotkań, 4 mecze przygotowane, ale te 3-1, 18 do 2 komplet na stronie Jastrzębskiego Węgla. Halkbank grał w grupie B i tu zajął także pierwsze miejsce z dorobkiem 5 wygranych i 1 porażki. Ta jedna porażka zaraz na inaugurację Ligi Mistrzów z Aluronem CEV Barną Zawiercie tutaj w Polsce. Dwukrotnie Halkbank wygrywał 3-0, raz 3-1, 2 razy 3-2 i raz przegrał właśnie 1-3 w setach 16-8, 13 punktów na koncie, ale bezpośredni awans do ćwierćfinału. W ćwierćfinałach oczywiście doskonale pamiętamy, Jastrzębski Wegiel dwukrotnie wygrywa z VfB Friedrichshafen po 3-0.
Well, it's almost go time here in the CEV Champions League volley semi-finals, second leg here in JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel in what should be a thrilling tie. Halkbank ANKARA have travelled 2,300 kilometres or so for this away leg, one that they have to win 3-0 or 3-1 to force the golden set. Anything else means that JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel will qualify for their first ever Champions League finals. It's a huge evening of volleyball here in Poland, and there's no better place to watch your volleyball than Poland.
Szanowni Państwo, oto pełne składy obu drużyn. Halkbank ANKARA.
Well, there are the final four. Interesting to say the least, because Zaxa and Perugia tomorrow evening, with Zaxa holding the advantage from last week. Perugia still haven't won this competition. There's the second leg, with Zaxa travelling to Perugia tomorrow evening after a fantastic 3-1 win for JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel last week. That doesn't mean anything. Yuri Gladier, the middle blocker from the Ukraine, has come out in the press and said they're not a weak team. I mean any team with Namir Abdelaziz in their armoury. Certainly not a weak team in this sport. But for the team at home, they finished in third place last year, losing out to Zaxa in the semi-finals. They have all the experience of this stage, but can they go where no JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel side have gone before? There's the main man, Tomasz Fornal, plays for the Polish national team. Yes, he's third or fourth choice in that wing spiker role, but he's very much the first choice this evening. 18 points last week for him in the first leg. And there's one of the three of the French connection, Stefan Borja, Olympic gold medalist. Didn't start in the semi-finals last year. He was on the bench for Jan Hadrava, the other opposite player, but he should start tonight after an impressive performance last week, and he has been their go-to opposite, rightfully so, all year long. Well, there is Yuri Gladier, Ukrainian middle blocker, 202 metres tall, 9 points last week for him, 89% efficiency. That's huge. He was the 2019 MVP in the Polish Super Cup. He's also won just about every award in Turkey whilst playing for Fenerbahce. Well, there is Jan Hadrava, 199 opposite player, who will also pose a big threat on that right side this evening. We know that JASTRZEBSKI played sensationally well last week, and that man is really the linchpin, isn't he? Benjamin Toniuti. He's been around for some time now. Was at Zaxa between 2015 and 2021, but the Frenchman, will be key, as will be the American setter for Halkbank this evening. Someone who's had a very good season so far, Mika Ma. This could be a first all-Polish final in Champions League history, should JASTRZEBSKI win this evening and Zaxa continue their good form against Perugia. That seems mind-baffling, but also surprising at the same time. The last time that two clubs from the same nation met in the Champions League final was 2004, Lokomotiv Belgorod and Isra Odinistuvu. Full house, and we understand why. Well, there's the Halkbank ANKARA side. Lots of players that you may know. Namir Abdelaziz, the right sider, played at Trentino in the final a couple of years ago and played for Modena as well. Thomas Jatski won the Chinese League earlier on in the year, now playing in Turkey, as we have a look at JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel, who have got 13 of their side that finished third in 2022 underneath the guidance of Andrea Gardini. We talked about the French connection. Trevor Clevenot makes up the third French Olympic gold medalist on the wing. Tomasz Fornal we've already spoke about. One of the new players in, Mustafa Mombaye, the middle blocker, very physical in that middle. Should play tonight with Yuri Gladier in that centre spot. Namir Abdelaziz, 11 points last week, 34% efficiency for the former Zaxa man. Played alongside Zagumny and Zatorski in that side, but also played Milano, Modena, you name it. He's done it, 35 awards. But there's Tomasz Fornal, who last week for many was the MVP, got set a lot of the ball last week. Fornal 35 attacks for 16 points, consistent and worked off the hands wonderfully well. The stage is well and truly set. Halkbank ANKARA, yes, they need a minor miracle, but it's something that is still very achievable with the serving roster that they have. Namir gets going from the baseline. All of a sudden, JASTRZEBSKI could be underneath some pressure. They know where the finish line is, but can they get there for the very first time? There's still work to be done for JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel this evening against Halkbank ANKARA from Turkey. And the Turkish team have made the final before when they hosted the Final Four in 2013-14. I mean, that team who comes second to Belgorod included, well, the Belgorod side initially very, very strong as well. Gogi Grosa, Dragan Tovic, Mazurski part of that side, but also for the ANKARA side, Osman A1 Terena, now playing for the other ANKARA, Zirat, for the end of the season, Maurizio Souza and Matej Kazitsky. So they're looking to reach their second ever Champions League final. JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel looking to make their first ever. Yes, they made the semi-finals 3 times before this in 2010, 11, 2013, 14, and now. But they can create history this evening. Zaksa, the only Polish side to win the Champions League in 2021. Benny Toniti setting for that Zaksa side 2 years ago. This is just the second time for Halkbank ANKARA in the semi-finals of the Champions League. Last time is when they came second and hosted in the Final Four. They're going to have to do it by right. There is no home nation qualification now. Laszlo Adler, Kenneth Arrow, the 2 referees for this magnificent time.
Challenge referee, sędzia wideo, Mr. Goran Gradiński, Serbia. Supervisor na dzisiejszym meczu, Mr. Dragomir Gerasimowicz, Serbia. A teraz czas na wyjściowe składy obu drużyn. Now it's time for our starting lineups of both teams. Halkbank ANKARA.
Well, Halkbank ANKARA's first 6, to Matic, 9 points at 55%. Never won a domestic title. Been around for a long time. Matic, big evening. Thomas Jadski, number 7, the American international. Ikamar will start as the setter. There is Namir Abdelaziz, another big evening on his shoulders. Dorkan Ulu gets the nod, 2 meters 5 centimeters in the center as we have another little look at our starting lineup. JASTRZEBSKI and Bruno on the wings, Matic and Ulu in the middle, Abdelaziz will start and Mark in the setting position. I'd like to hear some noise for JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel here as their team are announced. Trevor Kellino getting the nod, of course. Gustavo Mumbaye, another one starting in the middle. You don't expect many changes from the team last week, do you, with Yuri Gladier starting in the middle as well? You would expect that's exactly the case for now, starting with Clevano on the wing. It is no changes. 3 of the French connection that won the Olympic gold medalists in Tokyo to start the game as Tane attack. Second stint at the head coach Marcelo Mendes. He has been everywhere. Former head coach of Sado Cruzeiro, 6 Brazilian league titles, 7 South American championships. He has done a lot. Will it be Fornal and JASTRZEBSKI, or will it be Namir Abdul Aziz and Halkbank ANKARA? Boré has said this week this would be historic, but they have to start the game with cool heads like it's any other game. JASTRZEBSKI lost out to Zaxa at the weekend domestically. There was a victory against Fenerbahce for Halkbank ANKARA. Maybe that's done them the world of good from a confidence perspective. Well, the atmosphere electric here as JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel look to make their first ever Champions League final up against Halkbank ANKARA. And it's a ding-dong to get us underway with good defensive plays. Nikamar goes fast to the wing, and it's the first point on the wing for Bruno. Nicolas Bruno from Argentina. Fornal, left leg, great dig. But Bruno at 188 is quite small, has to be run very, very fast this evening. Short play, this time on Clevano. Good speed, Boya can't convert. Bruno does good work with the block and then stays high off the hands. You can tell that Halkbank ANKARA have come here to party. Well, Mika Maher, who went to Long Beach, took a silver in the NCAA underneath the guidance of USA national team coach John Sparrow. Will have to be running his offense very effectively this evening. Mustafa Mbaye, 10 points at 50% efficiency. Fornal, second bit of defense, it's a little bit tight, trying to go off the shoulder as Tony Uti, but that first touch just squeezing towards the net from Fornal. No stress for Benjamin Tony Uti, who's been there, done it, and got the t-shirt now, having played for Zaxa, Zenit. Olympic gold medalist, you expect him to be very calm under the pressure that this matchup presents this evening. Bruno, first serve from Bruno, out the back for Halkbank. Well, Bruno's been the best receiver in the Turkish league 4 years in a row, so we know why he's in there to try and provide some stability in that first pass. Consistency will be key. Last week, Bruno didn't have his best passing game, though. Averaged around 35% with his passing stats, which for someone of his caliber probably isn't up to his standards. But now out to the outside. Big swing. Sideline crusher. JASTRZEBSKI. High ball out of system. And that's exactly what the American can do for this team. Stay high, go over the top. Golkanulu, the long servant of Galatasaray before joining Halkbank. Free ball from the mirror to the middle. A little bit spatched, but that will not matter for Matic. Through the middle, it's a slight paintbrush. Tonyuti with the pancake, but had to jump super early. defence in a very narrow position, but rightfully so with that approach line of Matic. Very difficult to hit the ball on those angles away from where he's facing. High play to the outside, too tight for Namir this time. Brilliant from JASTRZEBSKI are firing now. They may have had a slower start. Jakob Kopivchak, the very experienced libero, doing good work, and Borja, somebody that's really progressed over the last few years, Borja. Bruno out of system. Let's give it his second out of system swing, but he's been stopped. Fast play for now, smart from Tony Uti. When swimming against the tide, he doesn't slow the play down. He speeds it up, and he gives his main wing striker a little bit of speed to get creative. This time Bruno's more on point. Namir scoot in position 6. Tony Udi back to 4 now. We're going to see that a lot. 2 in a row from Tomasz Fornal. Clevener gets a pat on the back as well. And this game is now firing on all cylinders, just like we knew it would. Serve onto the front court, receiver. JASTRZEBSKI just turns one over the left shoulder. The change of angle in the arm gets advantageous touch off the block. Difficult for blockers to line up. There will be a mismatch with Tony Uti guarding position 2 as well on the front court. We'll have to see how JASTRZEBSKI hide that. First ace for Namir. That's something that we didn't see last week. For now, stopped. You feel that if Namir can get going from the service line, Ankara have a real big chance this evening, especially on 4 now. If you can upset his pass, maybe his offense will start to feel the pressure, but Borja comes back, cross body through the split in the block and makes this off-speed swing look very simple. One-on-one, blocks drifting outwards. There's a lot of room into that angle in the end. There's a man feeling it. Marcelo Mendes, the head coach, but there's an ace. We've seen one from Namir. Now JASTRZEBSKI, Wegiel get one back. Yuri Gladir knows how to score in Turkey. Outstanding for somebody to win the best server blocker in the same season, and he's at it again. 2 in a row from the Ukrainian middle blocker, Yuri Gladir. Bruno lets it go. And now it's Ankara under all sorts of pressure. Yes, it's for now with the blocking, but it's still the work from the baseline of Gladir. And from a few down, JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel find themselves 2 up due to the good serving of Yuri Gladir. 2 meters, 2 centimeters, hammering it. For now is back in the mix. Gladir looking for a hat-trick. Great timeout all the same from Tanya Atik. Job well done from that man though so far. He's made the difference. JASTRZEBSKI. Serve back onto the front court, receiver for now. He passes wonderfully well. And Boria crushes one to the line. But at the same time, the pass was absolutely on point from the man to watch at the beginning of the show, Thomas Fornal. It was a rocket of an arm, wasn't it, from JASTRZEBSKI, and in turn had to stay solid with the platform, turn the angle of the arms. Challenging progress here, but I'm unsure whether Ankara have much to complain about. Absolutely nothing. That ball is in by a mile. Well, JASTRZEBSKI third in the Polish league at the moment. Lost 9 games this season, but they're still the only unbeaten team in the Champions League. Remember, they won the league 2 years ago. They were second in Plus Liga last year. So, I think we have the wrong challenge at the moment as we have a look at a very unhappy man. A lot on the line here for Tana Atki, former
Semi-final of Champions League, and it doesn't work.
Former coach of Turkey. Coached Turkey twice between 2011 and 14 and 14 and 15, but before that was at Halkbank as well. And a slight break. Toniuti ready to rumble once more. And what an era it's been for France internationally. World League all the way back in 2015, the likes of Toniuti, Tilly, Engapeth all coming through. And a bit later, the likes of Cleveno and Boria proving that they have a lot of depth in their roster. Another tip, another point for Fornal. Just shows that not everything has to be hit hard. Cleveno's made 2 or 3 bits of defensive work. It's another quick tip on the inside. And Ankara have got to be very disappointed, I think, that they're not getting arms on that ball. Yeah. Oh, Cleveno again. Makes a dig, makes a big cheer. Fornal, Cleveno again. 2 miracle plays from the Frenchman playing position 6. Chance in transition, feeding the ball up. 3 in a row from Cleveno. And then more to the outside, and 4th time works a charm in the end. But my word, that man there. 3 absolute worldies. Good blocking as well from Bruno to get all the way across and be solid with the hands. Here we go. Good dummy second ball attack from Mar as well before flipping it to the opposite, trying to hold the middle blocker and leave his star opposite with a one-on-one. Big play. Namir this time playing excellent defense, putting it on an absolute plate, but this time hanging out on the right side is Fornal. And that's the one rotation that you feel that Ankara would like to get off quickly, with a front court setter and Bruno on the wing as their go-to guy at 188. Namir on the 10, but here is the American for that Long Beach team. Took a second in the NCAA before going overseas. Pass into a fantastic zone. Toniuti flips it, reverse, and Boria just stays high once more, and this is the mismatch he's going to have on the right side, that Boria can just stay high with a quick arm, go off the top of Bruno. There's a big height advantage. Bruno at 188. Boria at 196, jumping out the gym. Well, Mustafa Mbaye alongside Kamil Dembski, who's not started this evening. The 2 players that came in from last season, as not much changed for Marcelo Mendes, carrying on from Andrea Gardini. Again, Borja making the most of this mismatch on the right side. For now, also posing a threat all evening long, isn't he? But what you have to say about JASTRZEBSKI is that their wing spikers playing position 6 on the backcourt are doing a wonderful job sweeping up. Some player, for now, when you think that in front of him you still have Semeniuk, Slivka and Leon for Poland, he would just about get his way into any other national team at the moment. Namir on the turn, misses out, and Ankara, remember, we're 3 or 4 up early on in this set, and they have no answers. That man is trying to think of as many answers as he possibly can at this moment in time. Once more serving the American JASTRZEBSKI, and once again the first 2 touches not quite clean enough. Mara again quite tight, and because it's so tight, the middle blocker gets his mitts all over it. And if there's a performance building from Yuri Badir, we know all about it. A couple of aces already from the big Ukrainian. Have a look at the work off the ball. Quick to push off the left, get across, seal the seam, plant his hands, and no wonder the fans are on their feet cheering. This is some performance from JASTRZEBSKI so far. A 4-point run. But service pressure, how into the game defensively they are. They've been set up incredibly well. I mean, Marcelo Mendes knows how to set teams up to win big championships. It's been a struggle for Bruno and co. For now, JASTRZEBSKI have got the better of Namir and co at the moment. They're going to have 1 second chance this evening if they lose this opening set. Then they have to win the next 4 against a strong JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel side in JASTRZEBSKI. Looks like they're going to have to do it the incredibly hard way. Bruno high off the hands. Silky smooth in that right arm of the Argentinian. MVP in the Pan American Games in 2009, also played in Mosaic, won the Belgian Cup there with Kamil Richlicki for those volleyball fans out there. We'll see him tomorrow evening try and fight back against Zaxa. You've got to love this about the way that JASTRZEBSKI are playing. Fast in system, fast out of system, fast on the pipe. For now, firing on all cylinders, this time from the backcourt. JASTRZEBSKI look perfect, a little bit wider with the set, allows him to take it late, snap it back to 5. First rule of the pipe attack, keep it out the middle of the court. Wrestled in. Namir a little bit inside. He gets his feet to the ball very nicely before hammering through 6. A little bit out of sync. Tonuti trying to force the middle from 2 or 3 meters off the net. It's another block. And he's having an absolute worldie once again, Yuri Gladier. He's so fast moving laterally. The inside hand is pressing. And there's nothing Halkbank can do because that man is on flames. And when it rains, it well and truly pours for Ankara here. Cleverno, worth his weight in gold here so far this evening. Hasn't been set on the front court as much, isn't going to get as much of the ball, but from the service line, defensively, perfect. JASTRZEBSKI leaves the fray for the time being. Replaced by Yid Gulmazulu, two-time league winner. Spent 8 years at one of the biggest rivals of Halkbank ANKARA. Well, this is not quite the last throw of the dice, but not far away either. Namir, they side out perfectly. Namir has to now settle to play on the backcourt through the 10. He's off the service line. Toniuti. And have a look at Matic. Commits with the middle, leaving a one-on-one. Fornal is on such good form that he's never going to miss. Out of system play. First chance for the substitute. He's blocked out as well. Fornal making the third man in the block. And this is some run for JASTRZEBSKI. The fans are going crazy. The level of volleyball here from JASTRZEBSKI has been sensational. Blocking, defense, serving, and side out. We've seen the absolute lot here in the opening set. See if we see JASTRZEBSKI back in the side in the second set, or whether Gulmazulu stays in. Was off the bench last year in the semi-final and scored 9 at 67% efficiency. Boye hasn't put a foot wrong either, has he? Namir, they need him to fire. Fire he does, but can he score 10 points before JASTRZEBSKI score 2? In that situation, giving the one-on-one away on the longest set across the plane of the net, wise option. The thing is, at this level, as soon as Namir gets the one-on-one, you would bet everything you own on him scoring it. Into the net this time. Matic played at Kalubu last season. Also signed was Ushan Dograluk. 2 signings from Kalubu. There was a lot of changes with this Ankara side. 11 this season from last season. One of those that left, Graham Vigras, who also played for JASTRZEBSKI in 2019-2020. Serve to position 1, 4 now. 2 will do it for JASTRZEBSKI. And the work off the ball from Fornal, outstanding. Remember, he passed the first ball, but he created his own rhythm off the pass before looping over the top of the middle attack from Mbaye and managing just to turn the ball enough to beat the middle blocker. Lovely work. JASTRZEBSKI now 8 set points. Mbaye 3 net. And we talked about how Namir's going to score in a one-on-one situation. I think he might just put the ball away when he has no blockers against him as well. Nicholas Bruno. Into the net this time. And for JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel, they have 1 foot in the Champions League final. They win the next set and they are through. For Halkbank ANKARA, well, they needed a miracle walking into this sports hall this evening. They need something much more now. They need to win 4 straight sets to make their second ever CEV Champions League final. Don't go anywhere, because Halkbank ANKARA certainly have the quality to improve their performance and put the pressure on the home side. Well, that was quite the entertaining, but also strange first set, because Ankara came out all guns blazing. And at the same time, you felt that there could be a bit of a headwind this evening here in Poland for JASTRZEBSKI. But in turn, the service pressure increased, Kleveno being one of them. For now, another outstanding performance. Toniuti is pulling the strings, working the middle in situations where he really shouldn't be, or a lot of other setters in the world wouldn't be. That's a better way of putting it. And the level of play has been far too hot to handle for Ankara. There's the confirmation, 25-17. It's a mountain to climb here. Well, for now, 8 points so far. Reception at just under 60%. Attack efficiency at 86% so far. For a wing spiker, that's absolutely glorious form. 75%. That man there, Boya, 6 points for him, but 6 from 8 attacks. And there's just no stopping him. He's got a very good mismatch, though, for most of his rotation over the top of Bruno. Ankara not quite at the races compared to those stats-wise. From the right side, Namir just turns one off the body, and it's a good enough sort of turn to get off the outside hand of Kleveno. Didn't really show us his best last week. Maybe he's going to get set a ridiculous amount of the ball in this set, because nothing else is really working. Crushed off the right side. Make that 7 from 9 from the Olympic gold medalist on the right side. He really is progressing year on year, Boya. And when he's in system, when he can take the ball as high as you're seeing here, incredibly difficult to stop. One-on-one on the wing this time, serving straight down the guts with the float serve, fast to the wing. Kleveno's ball into the game. He's after a touch. We might just see our first challenge of this set here. Marcelo Mendes gets straight after the second referee. And here's one for you. Mr. Mendes coached Parma to a silver in the Challenge Cup in 2005 before he moved to Brazil with Sada Cruzeiro. In that team, no other than Stefan Antiga, the legendary coach that won the World Championship for Poland in 2014. Well, no touch. No problem. Bruno, rocket of a serve, but once again, Fornal is proving his worth in so many areas. Yeah, we can talk about the spike all day, but it's a rocket from Bruno. And the legs of the passer Fornal had to stay really in and stable to the floor, and Boria just can turn the ball back towards his left shoulder and make hay while the sun shines for JASTRZEBSKI. Boria into the net this time, but nothing to worry about. They also have Emi Tervaporti on the bench, should they need it. JASTRZEBSKI, side out, quickly back for Ankara. And should JASTRZEBSKI win the Champions League, he would be the second Finnish player ever to win it after Tuomas Samuvuo, the head coach of Zaksa. So it could be another storyline. Ace from Ankara, and when the chips are down, maybe they start to stand up. Pass into a good zone. Middle's on time. Just can't believe over the last 2 weeks, or last week to 8 days, Yuri Gladier has been incredible. 89% efficiency last week. He's at it again, but he's blocking and he's serving aces. Worked in nicely here. Namir is getting set a lot more of the ball because Ankara have got to feed him, and he has to fire. There are no more chances. It's exactly why Bruno's in the side. Talk about stability in the legs, pushing into the floor the whole time. Big service pressure coming once more. But can he hit his way out of system? No is the answer, and Ankara is starting to make a little bit of a play here with service pressure, which asks the question, where's this service pressure been? Now they have nothing to lose. They are looking to gain everything. That is way out. Namir serving, spiking, Ankara back in to this match. It's a long way to get their way back into the tie. Finally it folds and he misses the line sideline. I mean, he's looked to crush the cross-court sideline one, then he goes back to the line. That would be some serve from him to split the court. The reception unit would have a lot of strife if he starts hitting both sidelines from the same spot. Service pressure out of this well from both sides, smuggled through. Good speed this time, out of system. JASTRZEBSKI, part of that Olympic bronze medal winning squad in 2016, also took a bronze in the CEV Cup with Rezhov in 2017, a team that included Slivka, Alexander Slivka, who we'll see tomorrow evening, and Theobald Rossard. Good side, that Rezhov team in 2017. Fornal just doesn't miss, does he? Good speed Wider set this time for Matic, again coming in quite square on, which in theory should make it more difficult for him to hit that cross-court sideline, but while starting to run things here. He keeps running the middle on a wider set like he is now, keeping Namir on the 10 attack. He might have a little bit of room to hammer away Namir if Matic can take the middle blocker from Wegiel. There's a block. Ulu makes his first big one of the evening on Boread. He silences. You can hear a pin drop here. Now, JASTRZEBSKI quietens the comeback. Well, it's a big statement to say the comeback is on.
From back in block. Side out, guys. Calma. Keep our serving in the spiker. Keep our serving. Point by point. Point by point. Let's go.
There's an awful lot at stake. Perugia, Zaxa tomorrow evening. Perugia needing the performance of the season, having lost at the weekend to Milan, sending their playoff game to a 5th matchup this weekend. Perugia have got the odds against them in the Champions League with Zaxa. Could you imagine an all-Polish final in Italy would be crazy. Fornau has been crazy all evening long, turning one back, cross-court. We've seen him hammer the angle on the left side. We've seen him come back to the angle on the right. The guy's got absolutely everything. He's magic. (11-6). Bruno starting to play a pivotal role here. He'll do a lot of the quiet work defensively, serving, and then he'll also chip in with a few very, very important points. For now, again targeted. Speed to Cleverno, it's wonderful work. You have to give so much credit to Twaniuti there. The ball's always traveling away from him. And he still finds the outside to Cleverno. Bruno again. Set wide, 3 in a row. From the Argentinian. Now it's Bruno once more. Really aggressive feet to the ball with the serve. It's a fast arm. They're out of system once more. Cleverno has to do something a bit different here. He tries to smuggle one through, and it's good enough. It's smart from Cleverno. He hasn't got the hammer. All of his angles are taken. So he has to try and work the blockers. So he fastens up and goes through the hands. His team are rewarded. Back in system. Fast play through the pipe. Net touch. Maybe from Cleverno. Maybe from Gladier. The question is, they started so well, didn't they? Is whenever a team starts as well as the home side here, it's whether they can keep up the level of consistency in terms of their offense, their service pressure. There was nothing going on whatsoever, and this is a completely different game now. Cleverno is getting brought into the game a little bit more for JASTRZEBSKI. He's making some really shrewd swings, good decision making. Not trying to do too much. Work off the hands. Double substitution And Hadarava coming in to play on the front court, so there's a change of setter as well. Emi Tervaporti coming in just to keep 3 front court spikers all the time. Tervaporti, 3rd season here. Was at Olympiacos beforehand and took a 3rd in the CEV Cup in 2018. Clever no serve, incidentally into the net this time. Namir looking for some insurance points in this 2nd set. Hadarava, big lefty, out the back, looking, one would think, for a little bit of rhythm here. Difficult coming off the bench when the chips are already down. Back through the middle. No surprise. Toniuti will go back to Gladier, and Gladier will fire one away. Fornell's passing. Talk about how good he is offensively in the point-scoring positions, but my word, his passing has been on point. Gladier, whose spin serve shattered some Turkish hearts in the previous set, but this time too wide. Big moments. And it's just fascinating to hear the crowd silence every time a big play comes straight through the seam. For now, he's tried to pass everything. He's a front court receiver, so he's almost asking Cleverno to step across and take that seam. That's not the case. 10 now, Ankara.
It's important to close in 6-5.
JASTRZEBSKI
Start again attack and block.
feeling a little bit of pressure maybe. Heads up was the call within the timeout, but again, for me, it's just such a massive ask here for Halkbank to win 4 sets in a row against a team as talented as JASTRZEBSKI. Bruno's starting to get his scoring boots on, isn't he? Rava, the man who played for Lube back in 2021. I mean, that was some team as well. Robert Landy Simon, Randy Leal, Osmane Wantarena, Schlicky, Checo, you name it. They some team before joining JASTRZEBSKI quite quickly in the next season, I think 2022. Has a good record in Plus League, was the best scorer in 2017-18 and best spiker in Plus Liga whilst playing for Olsztyn. Just been replaced again, so there's double substitute just reversed here with Poirier coming back in. Crushing serve, but middle's a little bit out of rhythm and there's still time here. JASTRZEBSKI just knocking on the door politely at the moment, but a miss-serve from Fornell's probably his first error, if I can remember, throughout the whole evening. Can't remember him missing a serve, can't remember him missing a swing either. Substitution, well, we saw Yid Zulu in the first set. This time he's coming on for Bruno. Previously came on for JASTRZEBSKI. He's going to come on the front court, one with Phil, to bring a little bit more physicality. 199 coming on for 188. Part of the Turkish team that won the Golden League in 2020 and 2019. Mbaye has had a quiet night offensively, hasn't he? Especially when you compare him to the work that's been done to Yuri Gadir, but really opened up well. That upper body turning the ball back towards 5.5, 6. Bruno's come back in to add to the pass. JASTRZEBSKI the target. Width to Namir, is getting set a lot of ball here. Toniutti rocked back from Namir. It's exactly what they need from their main man in these big moments. Interesting, leaving Namir one-on-one on the left side and putting 2 on Bruno on the right. Great setting from Mark. Well, the middleman having to do the passing for now on the pipe, has to scamper on back to play 6. Pretty tight, the tip is out. Great defense. Good cover, 2 bits of magic in a row. Jakub Popivchak, 3 bits of magic from Jakub Popivchak, but can Halkbank put it away? Yes, they can. Namir's looking for the touch. Namir gets the touch. Big rallies, big moments, huge game. Well, Popivchak will get the glory. He's the only player remaining from the team that took a 3rd place in this competition in 2013. Some longevity, that is. Second libero to Pavel Zatorski during the World Championships, where Poland took a 2nd place. Just 2 of this squad in that Polish team, the other one being, for now, Gladiator once more is in the thick of it. And this time it's an absolute snorter on Namir. They've got some comfort, Halkbank here, but every intention goes rewarded. Just trying to thrash their serves a little bit. Rightfully so, they find themselves far enough behind as in comes Mustafa Koch. The Arcus for 11 years, won the league twice there, and then was part of the Arcas side that lost to Lube in the 2010 CEV Cup. That Lube team included Facundo Conte. Lulu coming in. Koch coming out. Finding solutions. Tanner Attic. Bruno wrestles in, is very close to the net. Bar is on the backcourt. Too tight a pass from Bruno, but better to be missing aggressively. Pushing the game in system as much as possible. Bruno scoops one, underarm dump over the top from JASTRZEBSKI. I think there's going to be some questions. First one would maybe be about the pass. Second one would be maybe if the ball was nestled too much in the hand and thrown down, but it looked fine offensively. Namir, 2 will do it for Ankara to keep their hopes and dreams alive. Toniutti well out of system. This one's going to 4 now. 2 up in the block. What a swing. Falling away into position 5. 4 now finds another one with that cannon of a right arm. side out brings up set point. Great passing once again. Bruno on the reverse pipe. Good speed from Bruno. It really is good speed.
24-8 w drugim secie prowadzi zespół Halkbank ANKARA.
Volkan, Done. Good passing in. He's the best receiver in the Challenge Cup, but in 2020, same one as John Petrie, won MVP, but it doesn't matter about then, it matters about now, and it's a huge play. JASTRZEBSKI absolutely crushes the ball to the back corner. They do take a step back here, Halkbank ANKARA, but they need to win another 2 to send us to a golden set. Then they need to win the golden set to make the Champions League final. They still have an uphill task because JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel still in the driver's seat, but there's a few more twists and turns coming our way, I'm sure. A must-win set goes the way of Halkbank ANKARA. Let's go down court side and
I Mateusz ciągnie doping. Moi drodzy, nie spuszczamy losów na kwintę, ten mecz przecież trwa.
a man on a mission.
To jest dopiero 1-1. I teraz nasi siatkarze potrzebują...
JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel's head coach, Marcelo Mendes, has got a few questions to answer now, hasn't he? I mean, they're still looking good all over the court. It'll be the attitude and their mindset over the next hour or so that will define whether this game goes the distance or not. We know fair well that Halkbank ANKARA are going to throw the kitchen sink and everything else at this. Abdil Aziz was set more in that previous set, 18 sets overall for 7 attack points, 39% from him. He's getting set so much more of the ball. Tomaszewski, the second most set player with 7. 57% execution, that's better than last week. In the middle, they're doing very well, Halkbank, 75% for Mert Matic. Only 4 plays for him, 3 kills. Still all good though for JASTRZEBSKI. Fornal still executing at 82% at the moment, 11 points for him. 9 from 11. He'll keep seeing a lot of the ball now in set 3. I am certain of it. So at 67%, 8 points from 12 attacks. That's a very good return from the right-hand man of JASTRZEBSKI. Mustafa Mumbaye has only been set once in 2 sets and scored the only ball that he's been set. Let's see what happens in set 3 as we're looking for our first Champions League finalists this evening. It could not be any more exciting. JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel have the driving seat after winning 3-1 away last week in Ankara. Ankara need to win the next 2 sets to send us to a golden set.
Obie drużyny już powoli szykują się do wejścia na parkiet, a ja przypominam, że najbliższy świąteczny weekend spędzamy na siatkarsko. Rozpoczynamy play-offy plus lidze siatkówki.
Well, they've been silenced slightly, haven't they, the JASTRZEBSKI fans here, by mostly that man there. He's got his hammer out, and he's going to knock everything down in front of him for as long as he can to try and keep his team on the path to Champions League glory. Bruno, excellent in that previous set, must say. From a passing perspective, best passer in the team, 57% positive receptions from him. Set 3 is exactly the same position as set number 2, one that has to be won by the team in blue on the right of your screen, Halkbank ANKARA. That's a blistering start with a huge block on Cleveno, and all of a sudden, pressure's a funny thing. It will just creep onto them. The American, Ma, with the serve short on Cleveno. Lots of pressure on the French outside in these early 2 points of the 3rd set. Is there a touch? There is a touch off the block. Namir is saying there's a touch off the block, and no one's arguing with Namir Abdelaziz at the moment. Big touch off the inside hands of Boria. And they're starting to look like a team that believe. And that's worrying if you're a home fan. JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel can see the finish line. They're going to have another 2 cracks at this. But they're going to want to get it done here in set 3. Toniuti in the perfect spot. Wide this time. Cleveno. Yes. In that situation, ball's traveling a long distance, ball moving quicker than the feet. The middle commits, one-on-one. Bruno getting beaten in the block. Mbaye. Another one off the hands, Namir. Twice on the left side, goes hard. This time reaching more into the angle. Boya's face tells us everything. If he's getting beaten high, tells you how high Namir really is out there at the moment. Close to a foot fault from Bruno, but no. He has to point that one to the outside. Free ball, chosen to recycle for Metic to the wing this time. JASTRZEBSKI, they are cooking now. Oh my word. And this is why we love it. Pressure, momentum in these games, toss and turn. We haven't seen JASTRZEBSKI play at the same level as we saw in that opening set. Everything was electric. Boria, stop this time, trying to slow the game down. JASTRZEBSKI, who was struggling in that opening set, has come alive in sets 2 and the start of set 3. JASTRZEBSKI are under all sorts of pressure here, have to take a timeout, and Halkbank know that they've got the advantage.
Resolve the high ball, rebuild the ball, play volleyball, guys.
Easy instructions from Marcelo Mendes, the Argentinian. Play volleyball, guys. What he's seeing out there isn't the type of volleyball that he's obviously been preaching or they've been working towards over the season. There's some worried faces in the crowd and on the courts as well. Bruno's getting held, so much abuse from behind him. But the serve is perfect. Cleverno, front court receiver, reverse pipe. They know what's coming, they know when it's coming, and it's another block for Ankara. 4 now stopped. Big serving to take Cleverno out with that shorter ball. Doubling up. Ulu doesn't commit with the middle, stays for the pipe, and Bosch. Bruno on a strong run. 4 now. Great flipper. It's a good height from him, but Cleverno with the tip. Namir. One question is going to be, has he got the gas in the tank to keep getting set this amount of ball this evening? Net touch given against Gladier, and in turn, everything going the way of Halkbank at this particular time. Seen this change already this evening. Stakes are high. The service pressure just keeps coming, doesn't it? Halkbank are flying. Boria with a colossal swing on the right side. Tavaporti off the bench, links very nicely. Toniuti given a rest as Boria. Back to serve. Service pressure is an incredibly funny thing. When one player starts to find their service rhythm, everybody else comes with them. But it seems that if 1 or 2 start missing for your team, everyone starts to miss and succumb to the pressure created by themselves behind the service line. Off the block this time, and Namir is up for this task, and that is very dangerous for everyone else. Boria with a brilliant rip. At the same time, plaudits to Donet, the libero. Used to play for Zirat as well. Oh, steep. Cleverno rips one away from the body. JASTRZEBSKI with a lot of work to do already in set 3. It starts to get very interesting should Ankara win this one. Through the middle. Bobivchak is there again, as he has been all evening. 4 now, just has the ability to tip his way to glory. Bobivchak says, my bad, but he's done nothing wrong, or maybe he's just seen a little bit of sweat on the floor. Been some serving for this JASTRZEBSKI Bengal side. 4 now with another one to his name. 3 in the pass. Bruno once again has passed incredibly well, and we can look at Namir all night because he's on one, he's on a hot streak, but Bruno's ability to stay really plugged into the floor there, everything's pushing into the floor, the height on the ball is perfect, a good 6 or 7 meters to Namir, and the width is great from Mar, who's starting to run this game incredibly well. Serve out the back though from Namir, just. You wouldn't want to be anywhere else, would you? This is, I was just about to say this ties in the balance, but I don't think it is quite yet the fault for Namir. It will certainly be in the balance should Ankara win this set. JASTRZEBSKI, remember, undefeated in the Champions League this year. Boya beaten this time. 4 now. Great scoop again. Namir on the right side. Goes with the tip deep to 6, but it misses by a whisker. JASTRZEBSKI played a lot against Friedrichshafen. 4 times beaten them this year. Montpellier, Vojvodina of Serbia, their path here. Friedrichshafen in the quarters. For Halkbank, they lost the game away in Poland against Severci. Good touch, but wide this time. Did the double against Berlin, recycling volleys, which is never easy, and then Hibar as well, before beating the 2019 winners Lube in the golden set. So they know how to take the big games to the golden set. JASTRZEBSKI on to Cleveno, pass towards the stands. And this is the pressure of the situation is one thing, the pressure of the serving, the consistency of the serving towards position 5 in the last 2 sets has been ridiculous. JASTRZEBSKI is really performing well here for Halkbank after a slow start, but got blocked a couple of times. But for me, the first 2 touches were a little bit cagey in those moments as well. Now you just feel that the pass and setting is really on the money as well. Just like you can see here, JASTRZEBSKI this time, the way that ball's moved back from Mar is great. The offense is functioning wonderfully well, but the execution slightly wide from Namir. You see the pass comes in from 1 towards position 3, rips straight back to get the one-on-one. The middle commits, perfect offense. At the error in the end from Namir. Serve straight down the line. All of a sudden, JASTRZEBSKI are back to 3, make that 2. Pressure, momentum. Funny things in this sport. It might just turn here. This is wild. Challenge could turn into a big challenge as well. Difference between a 2-point game and a 4-point game. No net touch. Not quite a desperation challenge, but not far off. One of the big moments for Halkbank ANKARA were winning the CEV Cup in 2012. A team that included Reed Pretty and Ahmed Salah, the Egyptian opposite, who, if you haven't seen him play in his peak, was some player. They're looking to get back on top in Europe again this evening. Time is running out.
Okay, guys, okay. It's okay, it's okay. They have to take risk in service, so this is normal. This is the normal characteristic of this game. This setter with base first and top close. When you base double G, only P3, P6. Ready more line 4, okay? But in case of base 7, he plays more with 7 and back, okay? So our position to keep hands up for assist, okay?
One thing you really have to appreciate about Taner Atik here is the calmness in the storm. There was a lot of emotion coming in towards him in the timeout. He managed to stay very calm and then redirect them towards looking after what I think was Cleveno. But let's see. Miss serve is a perfect timeout. Really have to admire from the coaching is how calm they are and how they're trying to project that feeling onto the players when there's so much resting in these games. Good passing. And great setting as well. 2 bits of marvelous play from Emi Turvaporti. Just coming in, stabilizing the ship here. It's a high ball. And from there, Borje can do so much damage. 2 missed serves in a row. Certainly isn't panic stations at this moment. But they won't want to miss too many more. Remember in the first set, when they had the wind in their sails, every serve was putting ANKARA under the kosh, but not now. Every serve from ANKARA putting Fornau and Co under the kosh. Big high swing, it does go out to Cleveno, who in turn I think is playing some of his best volleyball in these situations out of system when he's got 3 up against him and he has to get a little bit more creative with his swings. By it. This jump float serve has ruffled a few feathers this evening, but this is completely in system. The passing and serving from ANKARA at this moment in time, trumping JASTRZEBSKI. They haven't served and they haven't passed half as well as ANKARA in the last half an hour or so. Vivchak going through the motions, but it goes to Fornau and through the middle. That's a good moment, really, because Yuri Gladier hasn't been able to be used for a lot of the game last set or 2 because the pass hasn't been in the right spot. Now the pass is in. He has the better of Ulu, and I think all day that JASTRZEBSKI win the battle of the middles in this game. If both teams pass well, they're looking for a handover here. Is Bar on the backcourt? Question is if the setter is on the backcourt, he's jumped and put that ball away. They're looking for a challenge. I'm sure it was the American setter Mar that went over the net. That would be what they're questioning there. He's a backcourt setter. Ulu puts the ball away and ANKARA take the point. Not penalised. Oh, crusher! Borje. They're still in touch here. Remember, the start was very slow. 5 or 6 points the difference. Now they're back to 2. They're starting to run the middle, starting to find the opposite man, and maybe they can get this job done right here, right now. Bruno's just stepping up and taking on the challenge of the serve. What a set! Myra's just found Matic from way downtown. Take a bow, boys. Take an absolute bow, because that ball is the wrong side of the 3-meter line. It's fizzed 5 or 6 meters. There's no blocking that. More boost for Namir. More passes out of system. Bruno has been consistent. Namir has an angle where he goes to the line in the end. Namir, he's hardly missing. And it's another break for Ankara. Timeout called.
Keep the reception and side out again. Our attack is good, guys. Our attack is good. Only with the good ball play in the middle. Close front and back. Close front and back. If he plays, exclamate the ball in the middle. Doesn't matter. We play.
Hey guys, there you go! Hook! One side down. Guys, hey man!
Nerves. The big celebration has been all shook up by Ankara in the last 2 sets. They've taken the ball by the horns, eventually in this tie, playing some outstanding volleyball. Antic still flustered about something. Watch out. Namir is about. Cleveno knows that this could be coming his way, but it's not. It's on Fornal, the front court receiver. It's a ridiculous play from Fornal. I mean, Namir has one of the fastest arms and fastest serves in world volleyball, and not only has he just managed to pass it pretty well, he's also found a very good approach and ripped the line with 2 up in the cross. Namir, high play. Tervaporti does a good job. He's done well off the bench. The center playing defense that time. Boya brings it back to 2 once more. Tervaporti putting in a wonderful shift here. This time to the right side. Namir is shut down. It's a wink. He wants the ball slightly higher. Fornal gets one over his opposite number. Edge of your seat stuff. Vans. Live and breathe their volleyball here. Well, gave some kudos to Tanner Attic. Staying calm in the previous timeout. There was certainly... Well, he was a lot more animated, wasn't he, there? Big server in this team, Yuri Gladier. Every side out, clutch at the moment. Jedski, one-on-one situation, or there's a little bit of a gap through the block. Say, actually a high swing. You'd think maybe if the libero was in there that he would have kicked across and got it. Gladiator. Nerville, also some good work from Volkan Doida, the libero there. Bruno comes off Yid Gormezulu. Passes a little bit off the net. Fornal looking for the touch here. It's interesting that we've seen momentum shifts. We've seen big service pressure, and now everybody incredibly clued in. It's off the block and into the antenna. Fans' faces in the background. Joy to watch to the inside. Good serving, trying to limit the front court receiver and take the mirror out at the same time. And we're back all square. This is going to be very difficult for Ankara to come back from. They've surrendered their huge lead that they built, and the gloves are off here. The mirror is getting stuck in. Here we go. Well, the second referee's got in the middle of it. Ankara from being in a situation where they were the ones doing the pushing, they are now the ones letting the situation take control of those. Fornal gives it the eyes. Maybe it was that. He's here for a scrap. Yid Gormezulu brought straight back off for Bruno. Keep their calm here. Halkbank, one goes too far. I think from Tavaporti, again, come off the bench, provided consistency. Changes, Aslan Ekshi comes in, one of the CEV Cup winners from 2012 alongside Serhat Shoshkin, who we haven't seen yet today, coming in for Matic, you'd think, just to serve. Three-time Challenge Cup medalist. Serve into a good position, out of system, 3 up in the block. The cover is there. Tavaporti, it's Cleveno's set that does wonders. Defense is good from Halkbank for second time of asking. Bailly gets in on the action. We haven't seen too much of him offensively this evening, but when called upon, he has been on point. Very good cover from Tavaporti. Great first set from Cleveno, but then through the centre in transition, dynamite. I think that's Tavaporti saying good set to Cleveno. Fornal now finds his serve at the right time of this set. 3 up in the block, but it's blocked out off of Bailly. There's still a few twists and turns in this game. We have a big last 5 minutes, 5 points of this set coming. Hang on. Boya, Tavaporti, and Bailly all looking slightly puzzled. Ankara take the 2-point lead. Challenges coming from JASTRZEBSKI. Foot goes underneath the white line. Absolutely nothing to complain about there for the home side as they look to push. Left-handed play from Cleveno this time. Fast work from the Frenchman. Say the outside spikers, there's so many different situations. The slower ball, the quicker one, different blockers, different sizes. Sometimes you have 2 blockers, 3. You You have to make so many different decisions, and Cleverno's decision making this evening has been really strong. The brothers come back in. Two opposites on the court, and it's one of those opposites that makes a huge block to bring JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel back on level terms here. Boya has been hit off that left hand once or twice from Namir. Not this time. He fixes the inside hand, presses well. And Namir says good block. Applied for Namir again, high over the top. There's no blocking that. There's certainly no digging it from that audacious height from Namir. I mean, Gladier and Boya are not small. Boya, right side. What a time! JASTRZEBSKI has just silenced the home fans once again, opened up the 2-point lead, got one on Boya. It's exactly the same style block as he just got on Namir. Strong inside arm. The American loves it. This game is now on another level. Wrestle back in, width and speed. It's exactly what Cleverno wants to work at. Good tempo. Clever 40s. Come on, and been very stable. Lulu, the drifting middle blocker. Boya fires one into the net. Ankara look like they are going to stay alive in this tie, which makes it very intriguing. Straight down the center. Slightly simple serve. That's a great dig. JASTRZEBSKI again is playing out of his mind right now. The dig is one thing. The tip over the top is another. Ankara take the third, 25-22 to stay in this tie. After losing the opening set, they have been flawless in sets 2 and 3. Now they have to win the next one to send us to a golden set here in Poland. Wow. 2-1, Halkbank ANKARA lead. And after the perfect start, JASTRZEBSKI have it all to do here to stop us going to a first golden set for them. They have never been to a golden set in Champions League volleyball. We knew there were going to be huge moments this evening, and it looked like JASTRZEBSKI were here for them.
odsłona dzisiejszego meczu.
But it's been
A ja szybciutko przypomnę
Ankara
sędziowską dzisiejszego spotkania. Sędzią pierwszym zawodowym
in sets 2 and 3 that have really stepped up and performed. 13 points now for Abdulaziz. Top scorer is still Tomasz Fornau from Jastrzębski. 76% after 3 sets. Converting with some consistency. Abdulaziz, 41% execution rate for 29 attacks, 12 points, but he's getting set a lorry load of attacks at the moment. So we go to a fourth. It's a must-win for both sides. And even there's so much drama when you think about it goes to a golden set. Ankara will have all the momentum going into that golden set. Cleveno gets us underway then in set 4. It's going to be tense. And Ankara, since they've had nothing to lose and everything to prove, have been astonishing. Bruno, very quick attack on the wing. We knew that he was going to be played fast all evening due to his height and stays fast off the top of the hands. Pressure after the libero. Popacek works the ball in. That's maybe a good sign early on. Gladia's used very early on. Tervaporti keeps his spot in the first 6, by the way. No Toniuti. I think using the middle is, as it always is in this game, going to be key. With the service pressure coming from Jastrzębski. And the more that Gladir is in the game, the more he can get his hands on it and affect it in every way possible. We saw this in the first set. Bruno's passed so well in the last 2 sets, but they keep coming after him. 3 blockers on Namir. Out from Namir. Very early to use a challenge. Here once more, the fans are starting to come alive. Big defensive play, net touch. Unsure who against. But there you go, it's against the middle Ulu. It's a funny game, this one. Moments ago, Ankara had all the confidence.
We know what we have to do.
And then step up. Ukrainian medal man.
This kind of service, the net is 3 meters long, okay? Trying to keep the ball in the middle of
For me, a real MVP, Yuri Gladier. If he can keep up his serving run. He's also scored 9 points overall, but 4 in attack and 50% efficiency. Cleveno trying to keep his team on task. Namir on the left side. Expect the serve to go. Was expecting it to go to the right. That's missed by a whisker. Gladir's service run, like we saw in the first set, comes to an end after serving his team into a lead. Now, Cleveno, Popacek in the passing unit. Very close to the service line off the top, and then Tervaporti. What a touch. Everybody else is looking at it. And if they side out here, which they do side out here, that could be a monumental point in the context of this entire matchup. Tervaporti's reactions, and out of rhythm, out of system ball, and maybe a lack of communication here for Halkbank. Has 3 in it. The net against Boria. Ulu slowing the game down, nobody mopping up behind him. Now Ankara out of system. Vivchak, perfect free ball with his back to the net. And this is starting to look like the JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel of the opening set and 3 of the sets last week in Ankara. Tervaporti, finish setter. Fast pass, good middle work. Full stretch from Mar to use the middle again to say that Ankara getting the ball into good zones rather than missing by being too fast and too aggressive. Missing by passing off. The middle completely right to commit with that tight pass. No stopping that man at the moment, is there? On the right or on the left, Boria destructive when he's at his very best. Watch out, Ankara. Tervaporti once more. Pass towards position 2, middle commits. Excellent setting from Tervaporti once more. We said in the previous set that JASTRZEBSKI's playing out of his box, and I don't think he's going anywhere here. Running a super quick tempo, stressing out the middle blocker immensely. The pace that they run their game at Halkbank is frightening. So many little storylines, so many things can affect a match like this, and Namir missing his serve, where in the previous set he found some good service rhythm early on. Baye serving. The fans are singing once more. Out of rhythm, Mar looks to the middle looks back to Mar. There's a little bit of discussion between Matic and Mar. It wasn't quite right, difficult for the setter. Turning and trying to use the middle. And look who's in the thick of it once more. Yuri Gladier actually comes back on for Mar. This time you feel more of a setting substitute for Halkbank. So fast. JASTRZEBSKI again, just one thing off the ball that quick is you won't be able to turn too many angles, but you will be able to stay high and beat off the hands of the opposition all day long. Through the middle. Just keep feeding Gladier. Ankara have had nothing to lose the last 2 sets, and their level has been unbelievable, but now they can also see the fact that they have a chance in this game, and that will present a different feeling for sure than the last 2 sets that they have to work through. For now, out of system, Cleveno. Good work through the block. We see that so many times when there's 3 up. Tip again from the Mir. Cleveno again from the left side. Cleveno, for me this evening, has been sensational. He's not been given the ball in the perfect spot all of the time. All the blockers move their arms down expecting the tip. Poirier goes to the floor this time. But Cleveno's ability to make the right decision at the right time doesn't go amiss in these big situations and big moments. Free ball, now they're flying. Nadir can't put the ball away. Back to Namir, he's shut down, 4 now. The lead figure last week is at the forefront again here. Namir losing his height when the balls are off the net and it's behind him. The blockers can level up on the Dutch opposite when he's out of rhythm. Clever 40 has been written. This is starting to get heated here. Net touch. No net touch. Almost perfect blocking, really. Legs spiking underneath the net. Means the arms and the hands can penetrate. Maybe. Well, he's still not giving in here. Taner Atik. There certainly was no net touch. I'd like to know what else he's seen. Oh dear, there's a yellow card. There's a warning. You don't need a red card here, otherwise points will start to go, and comes the moment when the players are starting to tell the coach to calm down. There was no problem in terms of the net. And where he's been very calm and very cool at other times, you feel that he's just lost a little bit of control, don't you, Taner Atik? Now he has to try and find the right words to say.
Guys, what we speak in meeting, believe, you know the reason of this 6-point difference? Because of simple situation. We defense, we didn't set. We are not in correct position. I told you with Cleveno, in transition, our position 6, stand inside.
This is why we love it. Emotion, drama, comeback. We've had everything here. Atik bemoaning the simple things not being done well enough. Net touch, no complaints. Ekşi's come off and very difficult to pass, is so tight. That's happened quite a few times already this evening. Ace! And surely now, JASTRZEBSKI are looking towards their first ever Champions League final. Bar comes back in. Ekshi comes back out. JASTRZEBSKI, someone who really is playing lights out at this moment in time. Doesn't matter the situation, we're seeing the same brand of volleyball from JASTRZEBSKI. Through the pipe this time, has a free net. They've left it alone really, but is trying to reach back in on it, having given up the outside, out of system play. Boyet out this time on the Frenchman side. But it has served dynamite the whole day, and now on the Mir, they're out of system again, or out of rhythm, not out of system as such, and the Mir tries to chop one back into the angle, and that goes astray. Atik is again left trying to answer a lot of questions here, but we saw this earlier on, the ball was off the net and too wide on the right side. It's too wide on the left for him. And that's just pressure. I do really feel that, yes, JASTRZEBSKI have stepped up their game in set 4, but Ankara have also gone off the boil, as all of a sudden they had something to really lose. One back from Ulu. It's been brilliant, JASTRZEBSKI, this evening. Quiet in the first set, but since then, a real leading part who refuses to give up on this Champions League campaign. 4 now. Managed to get his arms on that one, out of system, 3 up on him. Cover, great speed. Matched with Kleveno playing the defense of the opening set back there, off the hand second time. Scooped out from Mar, high ball to Namir. Kleveno is defending so far back there. Kleveno is not getting any of it this time. Namir goes off the hands, but he's penalised because of the antenna, not the hand, sorry. Errors, left, right and centre for Namir. Left, right and centre for JASTRZEBSKI. Oh, it's all over the place. Ankara have really lost control. Their fast tempo offense goes astray at the very depth here. And you feel that it doesn't matter whether it's Mar or Ekshi, hasn't quite been there in the setting department here in set 4. 4 now, through the gap. And now it really isn't a matter of if, but when. The JASTRZEBSKI, their fans can feel it. Dump through the split in the block. Serve to the front court receiver, in a bit of a pickle there due to the good serving. Again, running quick JASTRZEBSKI, but they go through the pipe to Bruno. JASTRZEBSKI getting worked really hard there inside from the serve to try and affect his approach to the net. They still try and run him quick, and still tries to work some magic off the hands, but to no avail. Ball out. Gets a lot of the ball out of system, doesn't he? Or when the ball's off the net. High swing. JASTRZEBSKI again is proving to be a real thorn in the side of JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel. But there's still a bit of work to be done for that man, and he knows it. He's been around the block way too many times to take any situation for granted, but that helps. Clevenot, destructive on the left side. One of the only times that we've seen him really without a block, and he just unloads to position 6. Well, now serving. JASTRZEBSKI's getting all the ball at the moment because you feel that he's the real player that Mark can trust in these moments. A few mistakes from Namir. The middle hasn't really fired. The service hasn't been there from Namir either. We said earlier on, so many small things contribute to winning a set. Namir missing both of his serves, in my memory, doesn't help when in the previous set he went on a very nice run. JASTRZEBSKI has been brilliant all evening. He's managed to stop the onslaught here from JASTRZEBSKI. Bruno is who finishes the play, but in turn, the serve of the American could be pivotal for any hopes of a comeback now. Bruno leaves the fray for the moment. Kid, Gourmet Zulu comes back in. Namir on the 10, and you have to think he's gone very quiet in this set, Namir, until now, but he has to try and find a point, and the set is far too tight for JASTRZEBSKI. You have to think that the bonus of setting Namir so much in sets 2 and 3 mean that they get back into the game, but maybe they've overloaded him too much, and maybe fatigue has played a part. Only he will really know. Another miss serve. Now. High one from Clevenot. 2 will do it. It's going to be a difficult 5th set to play here for Ankara. But Clevenot has been outstanding, just as we talk about JASTRZEBSKI on the wing. Ankara, big serve. Off speed to the sideline, it's Clevenot again. And now JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel have 9 match points for what is going to be a historic victory to savour here on home turf. Clevenot into the net this time. First match point over on 2, Namir. Swatted back on, free ball. This to go through to the Champions League final. Still no, defiant as Ankara have been all evening long. 4 now, plays defense, looks to try and put it away to position 5. Still Ankara digging through the pipe and it goes wide. History has been made here this evening. JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel have made it to the Champions League final for the very, very first time. Heartbreak in the semis last year, but not now, not this year in 2023. They will play the winner of JASTRZEBSKI and Perugia tomorrow evening. Well, there you have it. It's 2-2, but it's good enough for JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel to qualify for the finals. And in turn, it's heartbreak. Ankara fought really as hard as they can for as long as they can this evening. They have one more set to 15 to play. They'll be playing for pride, but they can be incredibly proud of their performance here this evening. To come to Poland, to lead 2-1 and to give themselves a chance of qualification in set 4 was really something. Namir went slightly quiet. JASTRZEBSKI, superb. Maybe some problems in the setting department. Hugs all round on the sidelines. JASTRZEBSKI have won the last 2 Champions League championships, but you feel if they have to face JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel or Perugia, it will be a very, very difficult match for them. But Halkbank ANKARA can be incredibly proud of the way that they put in a shift this evening.
Szanowni Państwo, przyznajmy, już widzimy, że będą zmiany chyba w obu zespołach, zaraz się przekonamy, czy tak faktycznie będzie.
Emi Turvaporti, the Finnish setter off the bench this evening, has played incredibly well. Good speed, very, very calm as the formation, the score pops up once more, 25-16 in set 4. Means we have one more set to play to 15. We knew we were in for a wild ride though, didn't we? Did not know it would be quite this wild. Two players who have had outrageously good match this evening. Cleveno. Eight points overall for Cleveno. Sorry, 12 points for Cleveno, 18 for Fornal.
You do what you have to do. Relax.
Him and Stefan Borja, 18 points apiece. 19 points overall for Tomaszewski. A brilliant set 4 for him. Abdulaziz on 14 points overall, 37% efficiency, as we'll see some changes, I feel. from both sides. You've already seen that Aslan Ekşi will start the second setter. Gökhan Ulu will start in the middle once more. And Portis rightfully gets another start as Mustafa David Dreyer as well, the middle blocker. And Kamil Demski. Very much a second six here then for JASTRZEBSKI. As the fans can really celebrate here in set 5, the job's been done with Halkbank ANKARA needing to win 3-0 or 3-1 here this evening. Aslan Ekşi, good to serve. Straight through the middle, big kill block. And we'll learn a lot about Halkbank ANKARA here. Ulu. Played in the Galatasaray side that lost to Trentino in the CEV Cup final in 2018. Great side of Trentino at that time as well. 2 in a row. JASTRZEBSKI's still keeping the team going, which says everything about him this evening and how he's gone about his work. Performed very well, but also very much a locker room guy, giving encouragement the whole way through. Ekşi. Hasn't quite started to go to plan, as in Wegiel at the moment, and that's something that you get sometimes when you make many changes. Side out and so fast. Looking to go over the top. But the young Gladiator with some good work in that libero position. Amir, who's kept his place. Be interesting to see how he works throughout this final set or so. You saw that there was a couple of crosswords between him and Coach Attic a moment ago. One that goes astray, but a free ball. Simplicity should bring them back pretty quick. Tavacordi goes with the second ball hammer. Middle blockers not aware for that one. After a fast start from Ankara. Diaz through the middle, another one off the bench. A lot of changes as we let's confirm how many there has been. Hadrava beaten. No messing around from Jetski, the top scorer of this evening's game. He's been electric, hasn't he? The speed that they run him on. The angles that he can still hit to 5-on-1 on the pipe. Big serve. Yid Gulbezulu off the bench. In almost every set this evening starts now and just rips an ace to the right-hand side of Glanechna. Change of ends. We're saying that the Halkbank are playing for pride, and they've certainly played with a lot of that. With off-speed ball, Namir plays defense. Namir playing offense, looking high off the hands as he has done all evening long in system. Drea just beaten by the change of the arm speed of Namir. Reverse play, hammer, Hadrava. Glanechna with a perfect pass. Two up against him. Namir says, good play. Tie ball. Oh, Shimura beaten. It's a heavy, heavy play. Samir Ayaz, 206. Bosh. Looking to get this job done. And not many teams could come here and win. And remember, it would be a first loss, regardless, in the Champions League this season for Jastrzębski. They still have an unbeaten record to play for, but they're losing sight of that. Maybe a few too many substitutions, a few too many players at once trying to find their rhythm. Hadrava caught inside as a left-handed right-sider. A lot easier to come and get the ball when he's on the left. That ball drops inside. Especially in those out-of-rhythm balls, those out-of-system balls, the chance of the ball dropping inside enhanced. And he just runs out of room. 3-point swing, 12-8 Ankara, knowing that they can't make Turin at the back end of May, but they can leave with their heads held very high.
Kolejne spotkanie z z tych historycznym udziałem naszego zespołu. Pierwszy czas wykorzystał sztuczny zespołu, który zagrywa ministra.
Slicing serve, 5-5, crushing through the middle. Dria to the sideline. I have a challenge here. From where I'm sat, it looked as if it was in, but and from where I'm sat now, it looks as if it was certainly in. A penny for the thoughts of that man there, because very irate in the previous set. Now he knows that there's no chance of going through. Very relaxed again once more, but he's done a fantastic job with this Halkbank side to get them all the way. Here Namir still unhappy.
They win the game. We play a set for nothing. We play a set for nothing. And you give left. We play for nothing.
There's been a red card given here that I've certainly missed. And the argument from Namir is that there's not much on this one. You have to say, everyone has a point. The referee has a job to do to stay within the laws. Something I would love to see again. I think we must have missed something. With the challenge being shown on the television as well. Serve goes out the back. 13-10. You very rarely see Namir lose his cool to that extent. Two will do it to inflict the first bit of misery in Champions League volleyball for JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel, but I'm sure they're not going to mind one bit, as the big news is that they've made it to the Champions League final in Turin. Tervaporti once again setting the ball brilliantly. A lot of speed on the pass, and he had to really control the ball to the wing. Namir finds a way through. Ankara have 3 match points. A little bit more inside for Namir just to go off the hands and through. Jakob Mathieu arms another one off the bench this evening. Well, Ankara, first match point. Maszewski can be incredibly proud of his performance here this evening. And the ball's out the back from Hadrava. Ankara inflict the first defeat of JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel's season in the Champions League, but it's the Polish team that do qualify over the 2 legs to the Champions League final in Turin in May. They have done their job. Incredibly impressive last week in Ankara to win 3-1 away. It's disappointment for Namir, still chasing Champions League glory. But this evening, it was all about sets 1 and 4 for JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel. They've lost in 5, but they've won the tie and will play the winner of Zaksa and Perugia in Turin at the end of May. An evening to savour. But that man, Gladiator, has been on point all evening long. With a real team effort, squad effort, as they make the Champions League final for the very first time. Lost out to ZAKSA last year at this very stage. Not now, not this year. For now, the man of the match this evening. 18 points for him again, just like last week. 64% efficiency, it's gold, and Boya needs some applause as well on that right side. 18 for him as well, and was set more balls, 31 balls at an efficiency of 30 or 55% as we have a look at some highlights. It was always going to be dramatic. Halkbank ANKARA traveling almost 2,500 kilometers to try and resurrect a performance from last week that fell short on home soil. Losing 3-1 meant they had to do it the hard way, and they gave it their very, very best shot, winning sets 2 and 3. But the final nail in the coffin was set number 4. But they can walk away with their heads held high, winning in 5 this evening. But what an evening for JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel, their first ever Champions League final. A round of applause from the very best in the world. And we're just waiting to hear from, I think, Thomas Fornau courtside.
Fantastyczny sezon naszej drużyny. Liczymy na to, że fantastycznie będzie także w końcówce i decydujących meczach playoffów, bo już te playoffy rozpoczynamy w najbliższy weekend, świąteczny weekend. To będą świadkarskie święta Jastrzęby w sobotę.
Well, as we do wait to hear from so we have to say Thomas Jedski came out with 22
Huge
points, but
congrats. It
Fornau
was
was
an
nominated.
amazing match, amazing emotions for all of these fans. Results doesn't matter, I think, after what you've done.
Yeah, for sure. Like, we don't care like who win this 5 set. Like, we are in the final of Champions League, and this is the most important for us. I'm very happy that that you have good emotion after this third set. For us, was more difficult. But the best for us is that we back to our game. We show that we can play good volleyball in the fourth set, and this is the most important for us.
Thank you so much and congrats once again.
Thank you.
I co, od razu nagrywamy? Czy...
Well, confirmation, a very happy Fornau, and rightfully so. 15-12 in the last set to Ankara. 25-16 in set 4 was where it was settled. What an evening. And we have it all again coming our way tomorrow. Will it be an all-Polish final for the first time ever? ZAKSA head to Perugia to defend a lead. Perugia have it all to do. But whoever makes the final, they will have a strong test on their hands. Marcelo Mendes and his JASTRZEBSKI Wegiel team are champions today.
Raz, dwa, trzy. Tak? Raz, dwa, trzy, raz, dwa, trzy, raz. Co? Dobra. Tak, tak, zgadza się ze mną najlepszy zawodnik tego spotkania. Ten mecz to tak naprawdę każdy set inna historia, ale najważniejsze, że ten czwarty